Is audible to everyone or not? Please try to respond through chat box. Okay. Now I try to share my screen also. So please try to check once whether it is visible to you or not. Please respond through me chat box. My start my session now. Is it my voice is audible? Yeah, thank you. Now I try to start my session now. Okay, in the last class we are discussing about so what is a normalization, what is a schema refinement, okay, how we are decomposing the tables. Okay, so these type of things are we are already discussed in the last classes, from the last classes. Okay, so just to try to see just within just to try to see what we discussed in the last classes. Okay, first of all, we're discussing about the schema refinement. So I'm already saying about this, just I try to repeat now. Okay, so schema means nothing but the design of the database is referred as a schema. We also know about this. At the same time, refinement means nothing but eliminates the unnecessary data from the database. Okay, schema means nothing but the design of the database is referred to as a schema. Schema refinement means nothing but eliminates unnecessary data from the database. Okay, I think the name is implies. Refinement means nothing but filtering the data. So which is necessary, so that will be maintained into the database, and which is not necessary, that will be removed from the database. Why? Because it will be occupies more space. At the same time, it will be creating the inconsistency problem. So why the type of the problem is occurred? We're already discussing about that. So when we are designing some database, then maybe the chance of occurring the redundant data in the database. So what is the redundant data? Duplication of the data. So if you are allowing the duplication of the data, so if you are observing here, so problems caused by redundancy. So in the exam point of view also, the question may be asking into the two types of parts. So one of the part relates to the, so what is the schema refinement? So how we are refine the schema, and how to we are performing the decomposition. So what are the problems caused by the redundancy? Okay, so these type of problems are raised from the what is a normalization, how we are performing the normalization. We are already discussing about that. Just try to revise now. Okay, so which type of problems are caused? Which type of problems are occurred? So if you are allowing the redundant data in the database, so then occurring, so these type of problems. So those are nothing but update anomalies, insertion anomalies, and another one is the deletion anomalies. We're already discussing about that. Anomalies means nothing but an error. For example, if you want to update one record, then automatically update remaining records also. So when we are allowing the redundant data, for example, if the same student number is assigned to the more than one person, so then if we want to update one person, then automatically updates the remaining persons also. Am I right or not? So that means, so actually we need not to update for remaining students. Just only we want to update our required student. But here the problem is the same number is assigned for more than one person. So they definitely, so update more than one record at a time. So actually it is a updation anomalous. So in the same way, if you want to delete one record from the database, then automatically deletes more than one record from the database. So that is also a problem. In the same way, insertion anomalies. If you want to insert some data into the database, then automatically insert some other data. So all these are the nothing but updation anomalies, insertion anomalies, and another one is the deletion anomalies. So how we are eliminating these anomalies? By using the decomposition. What is the meaning of decomposition? So decomposition means nothing but break down the larger table into the smaller tables. So that can be referred as a decomposition. We are already know about this. Then just only we are able to reducing the redundant data up to some extent only. We are not able to completely eliminating the redundancy. So that procedure is referred as a normalization. So what is the meaning of normalization? Normalization means nothing but to performing the decomposition. Decomposition means nothing but break down the larger table into the smaller tables without occurring the, so we try to reducing the occurrence of the redundant data in the database. Okay, so in the last classes we are already discussing about all these things, and we're all discussing about the functional dependency also. So here we are using we are discussing about different types of normal forms. First normal form, second normal form, third normal form, Boy's code normal form, fourth normal form, fifth normal form. Total 5 normal forms. Okay, So we consider the extra one normal form. So total 6. Okay. Here in each and every normal form, we are eliminating one type of the dependency. Okay. Here, so first of all, we try to know about what is the functional dependency. Functional dependency is like as a integrity constraint. So please try to observe here. So functional dependency is a kind of integrity constraint. So what is the meaning of integrity constraint? So inserting the correct data into the database, and it will be guides the users. For example, if the user is enter wrong data into the database, then it will be guides. So what is the correct data to be entered into the database? Am I right or not? So what are the types of integrity constraints? Can you list out anyone? So what are they? So those are nothing but primary key, foreign key, and using check, and using unique. So all these are the integrity constraints. Am I right or not? Okay. Here, so if you observe here, what is the functional dependency means? If you know about one attribute, then we can easily find out another attribute. If you observe here, so FD X to Y. So what it means? X determines Y. So that means Y is functionally dependent on X. So that means if you know the value of X, we can easily find out the Y. So that type of the relation will be referred as a functional dependency. We are all discussing about this. Okay, now we try to discuss about the different types of normal forms. So what is a normalization? So normalization means nothing but it is a process of deciding the which attributes should be grouped together, and in decomposing a given relation into the smaller relation. So that means before performing the decomposition, it will be decide which type of attributes are belongs to the one table, and remaining attributes are belongs to the another table. So normalization is a technique, involves a sequence of rules that are employed to test individual relations so that the database can be normalized to any degree. So please try to remember only one thing. So normalization means nothing but to performing the decomposition. So why we are performing the decomposition? To eliminating the redundancy. Okay, how we are performing the normalization? By using different types of normal forms according to the requirement. Here we are using different types of normal forms. Okay, so normalization means nothing but to break down the larger table into the smaller tables. Okay, so now we try to discuss about the different types of normal forms now. So in the last class, we're already discussing about the first normal form and second normal form. So in this class, we try to discuss about the third normal form, and try to, if you are having the time, so we try to discuss with the Boyce code normal form also. Okay, but these are very important. Please try to remember this. So I'm already mentioned in the previous session. So one of the question will be related to why we are performing the decomposition, or what is the need of normalization. So how we are performing the normalization. So what are the uses of normalization, or what are the drawbacks of allowing the redundant data into the database. So what is the schema refinement, like this? One part. Second part will be related to the asking any one of the normal form. For example, so in the most of the chance asking one question. So explain 1NF, 2NF, 3NF with examples. In some type of situations, mention BCNF also. In some type of situation, what are the differences between BCNF and 3NF? Okay, in some type of situations, maybe asking about 4NF and 5NF. Okay, so please try to remember this, and if you practice these normal forms in the efficient type of way, then you will get good jobs when you attempt the competitive exams. No doubt at all. Why? Because so if any competitive exam is conducted with the help of DBMS, then definitely, so most of the questions asking from this unit and this topic only. Okay, most of the members confused. So that's why I'm giving so much stress on this topic, and don't try to get absent until the completion of this unit. Please remember this. Okay, in the last class also we are discussing about what is a first normal form. First normal form is very easy. So why? Because any table we can consider that it is a first normal form. Why? Because so if the table is not having null values, then accepting into the first normal form, and if the table is having the primary key, then also accepting into the first normal form. Okay, but it is eliminating the multiple values assigned for to the single attribute. For example, if we are observing here in the last class also we are discussing about this. So for example, if we are observing here employee ID and employee name, sorry, please wait, just wait 1 minute. Okay. Okay. In the last class, also we are discussing about the same example. Okay. Here, the ID is 1401 and the name is Anupama and section ID is 401 and employee address is Rajahmundry and dependents. If you observe here, mother, comma, father. In the same way, if you observe the 1402, so dependents, father, mother, sister. So that means here we are assigning more than one value for the single attribute. So here we should not allow that type of the case in the first normal form. So how we are break down this table or how we are converting this table into the first normal form? Simple. So mother is in one row and father is in another row. Okay, in that type of we are converting into the first normal form. Okay, if you are observing here 1401 Rajahmundry and dependent is mother. In the same way, same details are maintained and another one is the father. Okay, here we can consider it is a primary key. So what is the primary key here? So employee ID and dependent is the primary key for to this. Okay, why? Because those are unique. I'm right or not? Okay, so in this type of we are simply go for to the first normal form. So here we need not to remember any other things about the first normal form. Simply not accepting the null values and not accepting the multiple values for the single attribute and accepting the should be maintain the primary key. Okay, and each and every value should be atomic. So these are the rules for to creating the first normal form. I hope all of the members able to understood. Okay, now we try to discuss about the second normal form. Okay, what is the second normal form? So the main in the previous case also I mentioned about that in each and every normal form we are eliminating something. So that means we try to perform some refining. So in the first normal form we are eliminating the multiple values. Assigned for if assigned for only single attribute, then those are eliminated. So in the second normal form, we are eliminating the partial functional dependency. So first of all, we try to know about what is a partial functional dependency. So here the functional dependency having the two types. So those are fully functional dependency and another one is the partial functional dependency. I think the name is implies. So first of all, we know about what is a functional dependency. Functional dependency means if you know about some keys, then based upon those keys, we are able to identify the remaining attributes. So in other words, so if we know about some prime attributes, so based upon those prime attributes, we are able to identify the non-prime attributes. Am I right or not? But in the case of partial functional dependency, we are using subset of prime attributes used to identify the non-prime attributes. So if you are using subset of the prime attribute to identify the data, so that is nothing but a partial functional dependency. If we are using total set of prime attributes to identify the non-prime attributes, so that is nothing but a fully functional dependency. So here in some type of situations occurring the problem. In the last class also I'm consider the example and the same example is also posted in our group. I think some of the members observed that. Okay. So now just to try to see definition, then we'll go for the example. And here example is more important. Please remember this. First we try to explain what is that normal form and next you try to explain example and next you try to explain the example. Okay. So a relation is said to be 2NF if it is in 1F, 1NF. So that means so each and every normal form having the relation. For example, if one of the student, BTech student, passed the third year, so what it means, he is already studying the first year and second year. Then only he is eligible to third year. Am I right or not? In the same way, if it is a second normal form, first it satisfies the first normal form. So then only it will be referred as the second normal form. Okay. So and another thing is here we are consider every non-key attribute is fully functionally dependent on the primary key attributes. So every non-key attribute. So that means here key not a key attribute. So remaining attributes. So every non-key attribute fully functionally dependent on primary key attributes. That is the main rule. Okay. So here now try to discuss with the example now. So in the last class also I'm consider the same example. So now I try to repeat the same example now. Okay, please try to observe this. So if it is a second normal form, first of all, satisfying the first normal form, that is the first condition. In the second condition, every non-key attribute is fully functionally dependent on any key of the relation. So that means every non-key attribute. First of all, we try to observe, so what is a key attribute and what is a non-key attribute. We also know about that. Okay, what is the key attribute? Key attribute means nothing but uniquely identifies the data. Okay, so non-key attribute means nothing but these are based upon the key attribute. Okay, so for example, now we try to see the following example. Okay, so for example, one table is considered here. So the table is having 5 columns. What are they? A, B, C, D, E. Okay, 5 columns are there. So now we are mentioned some functional dependencies. So now we try to eliminate the partial functional dependencies. If any partial functional dependencies are exist, then we try to eliminate those types of dependencies. Okay, for example, so in the first case, functional dependency, if you know about the A, then we can find out the B, C, D, E. So is it right or not? So A arrow, B, C, D, E. What it means? If you know the A attribute, then we can easily find out remaining attributes B, C, D, E. So that means we are able to identify the total attributes by using A. So A is a key. Okay. In the same way, second functional dependency, please try to observe that. If we know the BC, then we can identify the ADA. So then BC also, by using BC also, we can able to find out the remaining attributes. So that means here we are using the candidate key. So what is the meaning of candidate key? So if it is a key, so it will be used for to uniquely identify the data. Okay, simple. So whether it is a primary key, foreign key, so super key, composite key, so whatever it may be, here if it is a key, uniquely identifies the data. So that means by using A and BC, we can able to find out the remaining attributes. I'm right or not? So if you are observe here, another functional dependency, C to E. Am I right or not? C to E. Actually, how many number of attributes are identified by using C? Only one. So C is not a key. Simple. But C is the part of the key. So if you observe the second one, BC. But here we are using subset. Okay, are you understood or not? So actually we are using BC, then we are able to find out remaining attributes. But by using C, we can find out one attribute. So that means what it means, here we are using subset of key used to find out the non-prime attribute. Okay, if you observe here, I'm clearly mentioned this. I'm clearly mentioned here. Please just wait. Okay, if you observe here, from the above functional dependencies, key attributes are A and BC, but non-key attributes are D and E. But if you observe here, so subset of key is used to identify the another attribute. Okay, subset of key is identify the remaining attributes. Okay, so that is that type of the dependency will be referred as a partial functional dependency. So thus the where is the problem is occurred. So that can be forming as a one table. And before performing the decomposition, we try to remember the two things. What are they? One is the lossless join and another is the dependency preservation. So what is the meaning of lossless join? If we are combine the smaller tables into a single table, then it will be forming the original table. Otherwise, we should not decompose the larger table into the smaller table. Why? Because maybe the chance of occurring the loss of data. So that is not should be supported in the case of decomposition. So this is also one of the important question. So which type of properties are to be followed when you performing the decomposition? So before performing the decomposition, first of all, we try to see, even though we break down into the smaller tables, then there is no chance of occurring the loss of data. So how we can say like that, if we are combining those smaller tables into a single table, then it will be forming the original table. Okay, so if you observe here, so here C to E is creates the problem. So that's why I mentioned with the into mark. Okay, so C to E is forming as a one table. If you observe here, so this is a one table and remaining attributes will be treated as another table. So actually R is having A, B, C, D, E. Am I right or not? But here, so C is separated. So remaining attributes will be considered into the one table and new attributes will be considered into the another table. So that means, so if we know about the A, then we can find out the BCD. Am I right or not? So if you know the BC, then we can find out the AD. So that means it is a fully functional dependency. Okay. If we are observing here, so if you know the C, we can find out the E. So if you want to combine these two tables into a single table, then by using C, we can combine into the table. So then how we can write the query? Can you say anyone? For example, two tables, R1 and R2. Okay. Now how we can combine these two tables? Simple. Select star from R1, comma R2, where R1 dot C equal to R2 dot C. Simple. Then it will be forming like as a single table. Am I right or not? So if you want to that, so I will try to send in the chat box also. Please try to note down that. If you want to note down that query, please note down that. So what is the table name here? R1. Am I right or not? Select star from, so what are the tables here? So R1 and R2. So why? Because here the R table can be divided into the two tables. So where, so what are the equal columns or common columns? R1 dot C equal to, okay, R2 dot C. If you write like that query, so then what happens? So then it will be forming like as a single table. Please try to observe in the chart box. I just say send now. If you want to note, if you want to note down this, please note down in your books. Okay, better you try to maintain one notebook, white paper and sorry, white book and one pen. So for until the completion of this unit. So why? Because here the examples are more important. If you observe here, I'm mentioning one thing. Fully functional dependency means if we are using total set of keys, that is nothing but fully functional dependency to find out the data. In the same way, what is the meaning of partial functional dependency? If we are using subset of keys for finding the attributes, so then the type of the dependency will be referred as a partial functional dependency. Maybe I hope all of the members able to understood this. So again, I try to say the example. So if you observe clearly, please. So if you know the A, B, C, D, E. Okay, if you know the A, so B, C, D, E. If you know the B, C, A, D, E. Okay, so that means what it means, A and B, C are the keys. Okay, A and B, C are the keys. Why? How we can say those are the keys? Why? Because those type of attributes will be find out the all tuples in a table. Sorry, all attributes in a table. So by using A, we can find out remaining 4. By using BC, we can find out remaining 3. But if you observe here, so C is identifying one attribute, but C is the part of the key. Okay, so that is the problem. So that's why that can be forming into the another table. Okay, simple. Okay, if you having any type of the doubts, you can contact me personally also. Maybe maybe all of the members having my number. Okay, so next one we try to discuss about the third normal form. Okay, now we try to discuss about the third normal form. So first of all, if it is said to be third normal form, so then what is the first rule? It should be satisfying the second normal form. What is the rule of second normal form? Every non-prime key attribute, every non-key attribute is fully functionally dependent on uh, prime attributes. Okay, or any key of the relation. Okay, so second rule is no non-prime attribute should be transitively dependent on the candidate key. So that means here eliminating the transitive dependency. So in the case of second normal form, we are eliminating the partial function dependency. Am I right or not? In the case of third normal form, we are eliminating the transitive dependency. What is the meaning of transitive dependency? For example, if one non-prime attribute is determines another non-prime attribute, then the type of dependencies are eliminated from the table. So that is nothing but referred as a third normal form. So I try to repeat now. So one non-prime attribute determines another non-prime attribute. So if that case is occurred, so then those type of dependencies are removed. Okay, please try to understood this. So here I'm note down this. No non-prime attribute should be transitively depend on the candidate key, or should not occur the case non-prime attribute not determines another NPA. NPA means non-prime attribute. Okay, PA means prime attribute, NPA means non-prime attribute. Please remember this. Okay, so that means if we are allowing the transitive dependency, then also occurring the problem. So that means if we know the A, if A derives B, B derives C, then what happened? A derives C. I'm right or not? So that is nothing but transitive dependency. So those type of dependencies are removed. Okay. Now we try to observe the example. Okay. We try to observe the example. So what is the example here? So one table is considered. So in that table, consider some attributes: student number, student name, city, district, state, zip. So that means from the above table, I'm identifying the functional dependency is S number 2, S name, city, district, state, zip. So that means here I'm giving only one functional dependency. So what is that? So if you know about the student number, then we can find out either student name, city, district, state, or zip. Okay, but if you know about the zip, then we can find out city, district, state. So that means actually zip is a which type of attribute, whether it is a prime attribute or non-prime attribute. Zip is a prime attribute or non-prime attribute. So zip is a non-prime attribute. I'm right or not? So now one non-prime attribute determines another non-prime attribute. So that is city. If we know the zip, so then we can find out the city. What is the district? What is the state? For example, we consider the Yellore pin code. What is the Yellore pin code? For example, 534006. Okay. So and we are having some student number also. For example, student number is 10. Okay. By using student number, we can find out the pin code. Am I right or not? In the same way, if we know the pin code, so we can find out the what is the district, what is the city, and what is the state. I'm right or not? So that means by using zip, we can find out remaining details. But zip is not a key. Zip is a non-prime attribute. So that means what it means, one non-prime attribute determines another non-prime attribute. So that type of the dependency will be referred as a transitive dependency. So that can be divided into the two tables now. So that is student number, student name, zip is one table. Okay. In another table, so zip, city, district, city. So that means if we want to combine these two tables by using zip, we can combine that. How we can write the query? Select star from R1, R2, where R1.zip equal to R2.zip. Simple. Am I right or not? So that means in this type of way, here we can nothing but dividing the tables according to the third normal form. So I try to repeat now. So if we are find out any other attribute by using non-prime attribute, so that type of the dependency will be referred as a transitive dependency. If you want to note down, please note down this. Okay, if one non-prime attribute determines another non-prime attribute. Okay, I try to repeat now. If one non-prime attribute determines another non-prime attribute, so that type of the dependency will be referred as a transitive dependency. So in the case of third normal form, we are eliminating the transitive dependency. So in this example here, so by using student number, we can find out student name, city, district, state, zip. But if you know the zip, so we can find out the city, district, state. So that's why, so here the zip is non-prime attribute. So that's why we're dividing into the another table. Now zip is the foreign key for to this table. Am I right or not? So at this time of situation, the zip will be referred as a super key also. Why? Because here we are referred from the another table. I hope all of the members able to understood this. Am I right or not? Okay. So now we try to consider another example. Okay, if you know the A, B, C, D, E, find out. Okay, if you know the BC, we can find out the ADA. If we know the D, then we can find out the E. So then what it means? So here, for example, if the table is having only 5 attributes, what are they? A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So now try to observe the functional dependencies. If we know the A, we can find out remaining 4 attributes. So A is a key. Okay. Next, if we know the BC, then we can find out remaining 3 attributes. What are they? A, D, E. So BC is also a one key. Okay. Now, if we are observe here, D, if we know the D, then it will be find out the E. So it is not a part of key. If you observe here, so it is not a part of key. So that means it is in second normal form, but it is not in third normal form. Why? Because D is a non-prime attribute and E is also a non-prime attribute. So one prime attribute determines, sorry, one non-prime attribute determines another non-prime attribute. So this type of case is occurred. So which type of dependency it is? Transitive dependency. So that's why, so D to E forming into the another table and remaining attributes will be considered into the one table. So D, E in one table. So A, B, C, D in one table. So now D and D are the common attribute in both tables. Now if you observe here, so I'm mentioning that, so R of A, B, C, D, E divided into the two tables, R1 and R2. In the R1, A, B, C, D, in the R2, D, E. Okay, I will try to send these examples also into the group. Don't worry about this. Otherwise, you can, if you want to note down, so you can note down this example. Okay, I hope all of the members able to understood this. May I continue the may I continue for the next normal form? Please respond, anyone. So may I continue this? May I continue? Please respond, anyone. May I continue now? Okay, thank you. Okay. So that means by using third normal form, we are eliminating the transitive dependency. I hope all of the members able to understood this. In the second normal form, we are eliminating the partial functional dependency. In the case of third normal form, we are eliminating the transitive dependency. What is the meaning of transitive dependency? If the relation is existing between one non-prime attribute to the another non-prime attribute. So that type of the relationship will be referred as the transitive dependency. If you are observe here, so R of A, B, C, D, E is the one table. But A and BC are the keys, but D is not a key. But D determines E. So D is a one non-prime attribute and E is a another non-prime attribute. How we can say whether it is a prime attribute or non-prime attribute? If that attribute able to identify all the attributes in a table, then it is referred as a prime attribute. Otherwise, non-prime attribute. Simple. Okay. If we know the A, we can find out remaining 4. If we know the BC, so we can find out the remaining 3 attributes. But if we know the D, we can find out only one attribute. At the same time, so D is not a prime attribute here. So according to the third normal form, one non-prime attribute should not determine another non-prime attribute. So why I am repeating so many number of times in the exam point of view, giving this question is same like this. Can you find out which normal form it is? So it is asking into the 7 marks. So most of the bits may be asking in this format. So he is giving some of the functional dependencies and mention some table. So like this R of A, B, C, D, E, and following functional dependencies are existed. Can you find out which normal form it is? So asking some type of options, whether it is 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, 4NF. So how we can find out this? So in this type of manner, we are find out this. Okay, simple. So if that attribute is able to find out the all attributes, it is a prime attribute. Am I right or not? So actually D is not a prime attribute. How you can say that D is only identifying only one attribute. At the same time, it is not a part of key. So that means it is in 2NF. This table is in 2NF now. So, but if you are observing the following division or decomposition, so they both are in the third normal form. Okay. So now we try to discuss about the BCNF. Okay, actually today is not today is not enough time to discuss about this. Just to try to give the some introduction about this. Okay, so now before going to this, I will try to show the relation between the normal forms. So if it is 1NF, okay, so that is in under 2NF. So that means what is the meaning of 2NF? So within the 2NF, 1NF is there. Are you understood this? Okay, if it is said to be second normal form, first it satisfies first normal form. In the same way, if it is said to be third normal form, it should be satisfying second normal form and first normal form. if it is a BCNF satisfying the 3NF, 2NF, and 1NF. If it is 4NF, so already satisfying the BCNF, 3NF, 2NF, and 1NF. In the same way, 5NF also. Okay. So this is the relationship between one normal form to the another normal form. So now we try to discuss about the BCNF. So what it means? So first it's satisfying the 3NF, and we are considering another condition. So here the another condition is, so this is greater than the third normal form. Okay, so it is the higher version or strict version of the third normal form. So in other words, so this will be referred as a 3.5 NF also. So BCNF can be also referred to as 3.5 NF. Okay, so here we are considering the two conditions. The first condition is it should be in the 3NF, and for any dependency, A plus B, A should be super key. Okay, so that means here we are considering only one rule, that is first it satisfy the third normal form, and second thing is if we are considering one functional dependency, for example A implies B, so that means A should be super key. So that means if it is a key only, determines another attribute, otherwise not determines another attribute. Okay, so this is the main motive of the BCNF. Okay, so here we are eliminating the trivial functional dependency. Okay, in the case of second normal form, we are eliminating the partial functional dependency. In the case of third normal form, we are eliminating the transitive dependency. So in the case of BCNF, we are eliminating the trivial functional dependency. What is the meaning of trivial functional dependency? If one non-prime attribute determines the prime attribute. Okay, I will try to explain with the clear example. Please try to observe this. In the case of first normal form, remove multiple values for the single attribute. At the same time, null values are also eliminated. That is, the type of work is done in the 1NF. If you are observe here 2NF, prime attribute determines non-prime attribute. For example, if subset of prime attribute determines NPA, so that is represented with the into mark. So what it means? Eliminates the partial dependency. If you are using subset of prime attributes, so that is nothing but a partial dependency. So those type of cases are not allowed in the case of second normal form. So then what about the third normal form? One non-prime attribute should not determines the another non-prime attribute. So that is also represented with the into cross mark. Okay, that means eliminates the transfer dependency. Okay, so what is the meaning of BCNF? Boy's curve normal form. It is strict than the 3NF, and this is also referred as 3.5 NF. And here the main thing is, so one non-prime attribute determines prime attribute. So in the previous case, prime attribute determines non-prime attribute, but here non-prime attribute determines prime attribute. So that means if you are if this case is occurred, so that type of the dependency will be referred as a trivial functional dependency. So those type of dependencies are removed from the table. Okay, I hope all of the members able to understood. So please clearly understood and try to understand the relationship between one normal form and another normal form. So in the previous case, one prime attribute determines one non-prime attribute or all non-prime attributes. In the second case, one non-prime attribute determines another non-prime attribute. So now one non-prime attribute determines one prime attribute. So that type of the dependency will be referred as a trivial functional dependency. Okay, so now we try to see the BCNF. So that means if it is a functional dependency, so then that is should be a key. So now we try to see the observe example. Okay, for example, we are considering if A implies B, A should not non-prime attribute and B should not prime attribute. If this case is occurred, this is a trivial functional dependency. Then what about the transitive dependency? If you know the A, if A determines B, B determines C, then A determines C. It is a transitive dependency. Okay, I hope all of the members able to understood. For example, if it is a trivial functional dependency, A implies B, A is a non-prime attribute and B is a prime attribute. Okay, now we try to see the example. For example, we consider the 4 attributes. So those are R of ABCD. If you know the A, find out the BCD. If we know the BC, we find out the AD. If we know the D, then find out the B. Okay, now we try to see the keys first of all. So here we only 4 columns. So what are they? A, B, C, D. So if we know the A, we can find out remaining 3 attributes. So A is a key. Okay. If we know the BC, we can find out remaining 2 attributes. So BC is also a key. Now, if we know the D, then we can determine the B. So what is a D? Actually, D is a non-prime attribute. Am I right or not? Now determines B. So what is a B? Part of the key. So that means non-prime attribute determines prime attribute. Okay. So that is the problem. So that type of the dependency will be referred as a trivial functional dependency. So where is the you don't get confused how we are decomposing the table into smaller tables and which columns are mixed. So don't try to get confused. It's simple. You try to remember. So where is the problem is occurred? So that will be forming as a one table. Here where is the problem is occurred? D to B. So D to B is a one table, and remaining attributes will be treated as the another table. And you remember one thing. So even though we break down into the smaller tables, so there is no occurring the loss of data when we are combining these tables into a single table. Okay, if you observe here, so now what are the columns? So DB is here. So remaining columns are A, C, D. Am I right or not? Okay, now we can forming these two tables into a single table by using the D. Okay, so D is the common column in a both tables. So now what are the dependencies? If you know the A, we can find out the CD. If we know the C, we can find out the AD. So that means these A and C are the keys. So there is no problem. And if you know the D, determines the B. Am I right or not? So here D is also a key and D is the super key for to this. So in this type of way, we are consider the BCNF. If anyone is not understood, don't worry about this. I will try to explain tomorrow and I will try to complete tomorrow 4NF also. Okay, but I request one thing, all of you, please try to remember all these normal forms for lifelong remembrance. Why? Because so these type of examples are repeated when we are attending some gate exam or maybe some competitive exam or maybe some or campus interviews. So asking these type of questions oftenly. So that's why I request all of you, if you not understood, please ask me directly. Don't worry about that. Okay. Uh, please, if you are having some confusions, I will upload every day after the completion of my class into the YouTube. So and I send the link into the our group also. Please try to watch once that video. Okay. If you're having any type of the problem, so you can try to contact with me. Okay. Uh, I hope all of the members able to understood. So what is the first noun form? What is the second noun form? What is the third noun form? What is the BCNF? Okay. So one of the part will be one of the question will be asking from for this part. So explain 1NF, 2NF, 3NF with examples, or explain the differences between 3NF and BCNF. Okay, or maybe giving some set of functional dependencies and asking which type of normal form it is. Okay, we will try to practice some of the examples in the next classes. Don't worry about that. Okay, if you're having any type of the doubts, you can ask me now. Otherwise, I will end the session today. If you're having any type of the doubts, you can ask me now. Otherwise, I will end the session today. And whatever it may be, I'm displaying today's session. So those type of pics will be shared in the group. Don't worry about that. If you note down that, so I will try to share again. Okay. I end my session now. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice day. Take care.